Okay. Hi guys. I'm Mano Upadhyay, and as you all know that I have started a C programming tutorials for each one of you who has any sort of difficulties in it. So before we begin, I would like to tell you that today's lecture would be based on some basics of C programming that everyone should know before starting it. So let's get started with it. Okay, so let's begin with the first program of today, and it is just a basic program which prints a statement that is, "Hi, my name is Mana." And to begin with, we have a statement that is hashtag include stdio.h. What does it specify? This is a preprocessor directive which gives the standard input and output functions header file that is stored in the C library. Then comes the main function. Main function defines the beginning of the execution of a program, that is wherever the main is written, that is main and a brown bracket. This specifies that the executable portion of a program has to be started from here. Now the inner portion of a main function consists of two parts, that is the variable declaration and a executable part. So in these two statements, one of them is the variable declaration and the other one is the executable. So the first statement, that is INTA, is the variable declaration part for this one. Okay, so INTA specifies that there is a variable named A whose data type will be integer type, and in this integer data type decimal values cannot be stored. So we have to look forward to the types of data types present in the C language. There are a lot of them, so we'll have another session for them. So let's move forward. Then comes the printf statement. Printf is a predefined function which prints everything that is present between the double inverted commas. Okay, like in this program there is "Hi, my name is Manav" written here. The slash n, that is the backslash n given here, it specifies that a new line has to be started wherever the slash n is written. Okay, so every time you give the slash n command to a printf statement, a new line will be formed for the statements to be printed after the slash n command. So let's see what the output is. Okay, "Hi, my name is Manav." That is what gets printed. Yeah, so that concludes the first program. Let's move on to the second one. Our second program would be to find the sum of two numbers that is entered by the users. And as we all know since the beginning that this is our preprocessor directive to link our stdio.h, that is the standard input and output header file, with this program. Then comes the main function from where the execution of the program begins. The variable declaration in which x, y, z are the variables which have the integer data type. Okay, so what comes next is that the printf statement, in which the user will get a printed statement, that is enter the value of x or enter x as given in this program. The slash n will show it that a new line has to be used for it. After that, what comes is scanf statement. Scanf takes the value from the user and stores it in the variable that is given in the ampersand x. Okay, so scanf %d has to be written to get the value in the integer data types. For every different data types, this will be different. Like for float, it will have to be written as %f. We will discuss that later, so let's move on with it. Now the scanf statement consists of double inverted commas and the %d, that is ना सता ओ हमें हम Okay, so in the scanf statement, it consists of a double inverted commas in which the format specifiers for the given integer or float or any given data types that are declared as per the variable whose values have to be entered by the user. So for integer, the format specifier is %d and the ampersand x is the data cut, and the ampersand x denotes that the value entered by the user have to be stored in this particular location, that is the x variable. And in the same way we will get the values for the y variable too. Now the third variable, that is the sum variable, in which the sum of x and y would be stored, is written here, that is the z. So as we all know basic maths since third standard or fourth standard, z would be equal to x plus y. X will be the value entered by the user and y will also be the value entered by the user, and their algebraic sum would be stored in the variable number z. When we print something, we can also print the values of a variable that have been when we print, we can also print the values of the variable stored by using the format specifiers and not the ampersand x and ampersand y denotions. How does this work? The first time you write a %d, a variable whose value has to be printed has to be written with a comma and the variable name after the double inverted commas. So the first value we want to be printed is the x value, second one we need the y value, and the third value we need is the z. So every time we write a %d and any format specifiers, we have to denote its variable name too. So this %d will get the value from the first variable written here, that is x. The second %d will get the value from the second variable written here, and the third format specifier will get the value from the z, that is the sum. So what do you think would be the output of this program? So according to me, first of all, the output would require some input to be given by the user, that is the enter x and enter y. When a user would enter any values in it, it will directly find the sum of those two numbers and store it in the z variable, and after that the fifth statement of the program would be executed, and in this program we will get the final statement as value of x plus value of y would be equal to the value of z. So let's see the output of this function. We have entered 9 for the x variable, then when we print 8 for the y variable, and the answer would be 9 plus 8 will be equal to 17. Here the 9 would be stored in the x variable, the 8 would be stored in the y variable, and 9 plus 8, that is 17, would be stored in the z variable. And as the fifth statement of our program shows us that %d, this %d gives us the output 9, the second %d gives us our 8, and the third %d would give us our 17. So that is how a C program works. So I hope you guys understood the basics. So we'll meet in the next lecture, and let's see you guys next time. Bye bye.